Okay. With 94% signing interest, Kevin Simmons says no. 94%. We didn't even lowball him. We gave him fair value in terms of the bonus. We'll see. If he's in the free agent lists, we'll have to send him an offer. Holy shit. That's all I can say. Just holy shit. We, as chat pointed out, we have had people with 50% interest say yes. Mario Acevedo, you just became a hell of a lot more important, and because that guy said no, you get a max interest offer. Mario signed with us. It's a him. I don't even know what to say right now. Well, because our top pick rejected, I'm just throwing money out to people. Anthony Vaccaro also said no. Pedro Mitra, he did sign. That leaves Anthony Ono, who said no, which leaves me saying oh no. And Chavez at third says yes. Disaster strikes, to say the fucking least, as Kevin Simmons on 94% interest said no. Okay. Well, let's just look at draft picks. I don't have to make it some big surprise. So Acevedo is a C potential 21-year-old, 51 overall left fielder. Disaster. Pedro Mitra is a fine reliever. 19 years old, 50 is a bit low, but a B potential. And Chavez at 21, even with the high B potential, that's a fucking disaster. That is a fucking disaster. The Yankees took first baseman Sergio Samuel. Not great. Oh, Jack Bingham, don't fucking do this to me. Don't fucking do this to me. They also got Alexis Guillen at first base, who was better than who they took in the first round. And Jack Bingham's a 59 overall. The reliever I drafted instead of Jack Bingham declined to sign, while the Yankees get that project third baseman that I was looking for. The Rays get a really good starting pitcher in Dennis Ryder, a really good closer in Alfonso Flores, a good C potential player in Emil Cortez. Toronto gets nobody until the end of the draft. 45 overall, Diego Rodriguez, not so hot at that age. White Sox, Ivan Ojeda, very, very good pick for them. Paul Rodriguez, good overall, bad potential. Villegas, not bad. Harris is fine, and Henry Munoz, 21 years old. That's a bit shit. Cleveland, Bobby Shartner, solid. They completely missed with those. They missed with all of their picks except for Homer Rubio. Fuck it. Oh my God. Detroit gets Johnny Fulton from their draft. This is painful, and we've only looked at the first few teams. Holy shit, this is painful. Wow, Combs was a bust. Well, that would be good news if I fucking got to sign my 7th overall pick with 94% interest. Combs was a bust. They got Yusniel Padilla, who's a low overall at that age. Oh my God. Minnesota got Jim Lara. He's okay for that age, not great. And Lee Green, who's okay for that age, not great. Houston, fuck all in terms of B potentials until Miguel Oliveros terrible overall for a 21-year-old. The Angels, Eduardo Brito is fine. It's unfortunate for them that Boyer's only a C. Rosenyoy, I mean, at 20 years old, 52, Then they got Felipe Arturo as a starter. This guy was projected like 50-something. They took him like 7th, 6th. And he's probably the best pitcher in the draft. Dude, when we're getting dunked on in drafts by the Athletics. When we're getting dunked on in drafts by the Athletics. Tupman has a really good overall. So does Mata. Saldana's not bad. John Grady is not bad. Oh my God, I want to die. I don't, but I do, but I don't, but I do. I'm in America. I'm in a great place for it. Seattle with Ford Span. Very good. Didn't get anybody else, though. At least of a high potential. Texas. Billy McLeod's a 47 at 20 years old. Atlanta. Connolly's not bad for a 19-year-old, 58 overall. No one else is really worth looking at. The world champion Marlins. Holy hell, did they struggle bus. No wonder why they keep having to spend money. They can't scout worth a damn. The Mets also cannot scout worth a damn. Philadelphia cannot scout worth a damn. Washington's #1 overall pick. Not #1. 3rd overall, Darren Hope. No, second. Jesus, I'm all over the place. I was going to be right eventually. Just guess all 3 top picks, and eventually he'll be right. Pretty damn good, but not an A potential. And then Kurt Napick, who we were looking at, okay. 52 is a bit low. Chicago with Leggett, a 52 at 19 years old. Rafael Reyes is a 53 at 18. That's not that bad. Hope went first. Did he? Are you sure? Yeah, he did. Well, cool. I was right then. Look, I'm going through a moment of distress. Let me go through it. I might misspeak. I accidentally called a guy named Homer Rubio, Homo. I'm kind of going through it at the moment here. The brain's going 1,000 miles a minute. My mouth can't keep up. And I feel like crying in the club right now. But I'm trying to keep it together as best I can. Because the 7th overall pick. Like, the 7th overall pick. I can't even think of an analogy here. I can't even think of an analogy to equivalent to make an equivalent to this pain. It's like you had Margot Robbie in bed just being like, okay, and you just run and you try to dive into the bed and then she just disappears. And it's like, what the fuck happened? How did this happen? And then, the drugs wore off, clearly. Anyway, let's just keep going. I don't even know what's happening anymore. Cincinnati. Oh, hey, look at that. I wonder if Mitch Summers would have signed with us. Probably not. And then they got Alexis Blanco, who's his arm's gonna fall off by 24 because he throws at 700 miles an hour. And Romeo Hunt. Fuck you, Cincinnati. How about that? You're Cincinnati. That's a big enough insult. Milwaukee, Jimmy. Our scout said that he sucked. He was selected before I could have done anything, if I'm not mistaken. But our scout said that he sucked. And then they got Chris Dell, who I also really wanted, who's actually worse than advertised, but still not bad. And Ellis as well, 60 overall is kind of low. This is pain on an entirely different level. This is just pain. Fuck you, Darth. That's how it's going. Fuck you. Thank you for the 8 months on the Prime. I hope you're doing well. Pittsburgh. Jim Perez, not bad. Fast. He can run about as fast as our 7th overall pick ran out of the city to not sign with us. And Fernando Gutierrez is also not that bad. And then everybody else kind of sucks. I mean, Shelby Jones is okay. St. Louis, Clayton, he is okay. Low overall, but he's 18. Thomas Boone, same thing. Roderick Stokes, who we didn't take. We probably made a good decision there. Arizona, Ricky Dunlap, not bad. John Knox. Is tremendous. Colorado sucks. Colorado sucks at drafting in the first round. They did get Sam DeBreu, who is okay at 18. That's about it. The Dodgers did not get anybody of a B potential or higher. San Diego, Harper Davis, he's okay. Overall's a bit low. Marco Villalobos is 23. He's okay. He's okay. And then they also got Vernon Nava, who sucks, given the fact that he's 23 years old. San Francisco, Manny Diaz, pretty solid. No other B potential guys for them. Baltimore, blew it. Finally, Baltimore absolutely blows it. This is Baltimore's first L. This is Baltimore's first L. We're almost in the 2030s. It's about time they took an L at the draft. But nobody took as big of an L as we did. Let's finish up this season. My only hope is that we suck. And that we continue to be the worst team in the division. That's my only hope. 94%. And the dice roll said, screw you. Again, if he's there as a free agent, we'll go for him. But, oh my God. All right, September call-ups. September call-ups. Let's go for Dennis Santana. Ronaldo Hernandez is currently hurt. We'll go with Miguel Dew. There we go. But yeah, there is a chance next year. I mean, we'll get a compensation pick since he didn't sign. The good thing is we are continuing to lose games hand over fist. It won't quite be a 100-loss season. The Woo Sox do not make the playoffs. The Portland Sea Dogs do in Double-A. As we look to finish up this season, the Sea Dogs are moving on. And the Boston Red Sox finish 72-90. No playoffs for us, still kind of by design. The Blue Jays and the Rays both make the playoffs out of the AL East. Tigers and Guardians make it out of the Central, so the Guardians era continues. And out of the West, the Astros and the Rangers. We were the third worst team in the AL, so we already know at best it's the third overall pick heading into the lottery next year, behind Oakland and the Chicago White Sox. In the NL East, you have the Mets and the Braves. The defending champion Marlins are out again. If they don't make the playoffs, it's either make the playoffs and win the World Series, or they don't make the playoffs at all. Out of the Central, it's the Cubs and the Reds. And out of the West, the Dodgers and the Pirates. So again, 72 wins for us. Oh my God. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th. 7th again. Why? Why? Oh my God. Okay. The Ghost of Devers, apparently. Just to look at our team really quickly. Austin Wells played a shitload of games at catcher this year. He hit 25 home runs, so certainly not a bad guy to take over for Corey Lee. 738 OPS. At first, Tristan Casas. 26 home runs, 80 RBIs, and 842 OPS. So very, very good for Tristan. Again, we're now in the Tristan Casas window. Second baseman, Nick York. 8 home runs, 30 RBIs, 730 OPS. That's okay for a 74. Nolan Jones, Nick Sogard. They weren't abysmal, but they weren't great at the plate. Shortstop, Marcelo Meyer, always a beast. 21 home runs, 728 OPS. Miguel Dews, 73 at-bats, 3 home runs, and 887 OPS. He's a beast at the plate. Then a crap load of center fielders led by Garrett Mitchell with 22 home runs. He and Victor Mesa were the most effective at the plate. And then in right, the man that we picked up for the Corey Lee trade, Chase DeLauter, was okay. Not a defense first option. So, starting pitchers, Kai Bush actually won the majority of the games. Garrett Whitlock had the best ERA. Brian Bayo ended the season hurt. And Rodriguez regressed in his sophomore year, only up by 2. Now at an 82 overall. For relievers, our bullpen was pretty damn good. It was 43 saves for Garrett as well. Our bullpen was pretty damn good. I don't know if Lawrence will be good enough to be in there for reliever of the year. So the playoffs, Cleveland and Tampa, Toronto and Texas, as Houston and Detroit awaits. You got San Diego and the Mets, the Dodgers and the Reds, with the Braves and the Cubs awaiting. Let's, take a look at some awards. AL MVP, Yordan Alvarez, Alex Verdugo. Finished 3rd. Last few numbers for us. What he did for Detroit this year. And then Gunnar Henderson. NL MVP, Pete Alonso over Anthony Santander and Jake Fraley. AL Cy Young, Houston's Christian Javier. Gotta be honest, I would have gave it to Rodon. I mean, only 16 more strikeouts. I would have given it to Carlos Rodon. NL Cy Young, Walker Buehler over Logan Webb and Kyle Wright. To be honest, I think that was the right decision. I'm going to go with Major. Thank you for the follow. I'm depressed. Batting title, Yordan Alvarez. On the American League side of things, for the second time in 3 years, NL side was Brandon Nimmo. Reliever of the year, Zach Jackson in Detroit. Can't disagree with that. He deserved it over Diaz and Batista. NL side is Anthony Kay. Also can't disagree with that. He deserved it. It was over Brock Burke and Josh Hader. NL Rookie of the Year, Bobby Miller. If Bobby Miller can win it, then Jesus, why couldn't we? Shout out to Kumar Rocker. He also made it, apparently. AL Rookie of the Year. Oh my God, again, we didn't have a finalist. Wes Kath. 24-year-old third baseman. Lawrence Hansen. His beautiful hair and Carlos Montana's. And then obviously Hank Aaron, Yordan Alvarez. Chaz Chisholm. Okay. Well, let's see what happens in the playoffs for a little bit. And we'll take it from there. As the Portland Sea Dogs lose the championship to the Altoona Curve. Cleveland moves on, as does Toronto. Mets over the Padres, and the Dodgers are back in the NLDS. Sim another week. Cleveland over Houston, Detroit over Toronto, Atlanta over the Mets, and the Dodgers over the Reds. So it is Cleveland, Detroit, Atlanta, and LA in the final four. Atlanta and LA, I think this is their third or fourth time meeting in the NLCS. Detroit and Atlanta in the World Series. We were already guaranteed a new champion because the Marlins did not make the playoffs. The Tigers, who shape up like this, led by phenomenal starting pitching and the bat of Alex Verdugo. Keibert Ruiz as well. Whereas on the other side, with the Atlanta Braves, Acuna, Albies, Strider, a 32-year-old Shohei Ohtani. Jimenez is there. I mean, you would probably bank on the Braves to win this. You would probably bank on the Braves to win this, so let's go Tigers. Tigers up 3-2. It's going 7, isn't it? It is. The Detroit Tigers have won the World Series in 2027, defeating the Atlanta Braves in 7 games, led by first baseman Rodrigo Rosa. The 24-year-old. A .481 average with 5 RBIs in 7 games. He joins the likes of recent winners Yu Chang and Jeremy Pena. Rodrigo Rosa, World Series MVP. 2027 comes to a close. Free agency is about to be interesting. Chris Sale, our tank commander. One final salute as he retires at the age of 39. Thank you for your service. The last few years for him were kind of rough. But he might just be a Hall of Famer. From there, I mean, we do have some familiar names, certainly, to call it a career. Oh, a nice overall, too. It was. My goodness. This offseason's about to be very stressful. Oh, Sky Bolt retired? Not Sky Bolt. So in like 3 seasons, every single season, both leagues had plenty of people getting 50 to 60 home runs, 200 RBIs. And also had no one won reliever of the year. Interesting. Sliders? All right. Hall of Famers. Clayton Kershaw makes it, but Chris Sale does not. Clayton Kershaw ends a 20-year career as a Hall of Famer. I mean, it's going to happen IRL, so why not? We need a pitching coach. Oh, Rick Broadway is a fabulous name. We're going to go for Edgar Sohn. Edgar, pay $2 million a year, buddy. Exclusive free agents. This is where it gets interesting. We're going to qualify Whitlock. I mean, we have plenty of money. JFB, thank you for the follow. We don't have contract control on Sam or Sandlin. John Schreiber at his age is going to be an interesting one. We're going to qualify Whitlock. Henches I cannot qualify, so we have to keep him. The longer the deal, the less money he wants. Cool. Well, let's cheese the shit out of this. What do you say, buddy? $3.9 million a year for 15 years? I'll even give you a player option and backload it. In fairness, you're going to be bullpen, not closer. Here, I'll bump it up a little bit. There you go. Sam, I hope you take this. You weren't the key piece of the trade. Let's go up to $4.5 million a year because he'll be worth it. You weren't the key piece of the deal, but we'll cheese the shit out of this contract, because if this game's going to screw me out of a 7th overall pick on 94% interest, then I'm going to play dirty. That's right. So yeah, you'll be with us until age 46. GG's. Sandlin. I'm going to qualify him as well. Just to see. And then John Schreiber. Well, John, you're going to be an old fucking man. But, what do you say? What do you say, John? Just backload that bad boy, too? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, John. Why not? Fuck it. You're 34. Ugh. I'm now making irrational decisions. Edgar Sanzon is our pitching coach. I would not like to stop simulating. So free agency. Top dog at starting pitcher Shane McClanahan, who is now 30 years old. Sandy Alcantara is there as well. Hunter Green, who's 28. Manawa. Reed Detmers. There are some younger players who are interesting. All these top dogs, though, have qualifying offers. That would be kind of tough. Let me look at the outlook of the team. The pitching's not really there yet. An ace wouldn't help. If we push to go for it this year, I still think it'll do more harm than good. I do. Miguel do. So we are going to hold off for one more year. I mean, every year, there's younger players that you can go out, try to sign. Every single year that happens. So I'm not too worried. Right now, I am primarily looking at the ages of players. And 21C, Robbie Garcia. Could send him an offer. He's about the best starting pitcher out there. And then there's Richard Womack. Check for Simmons. You know, Ethan, I didn't think to do that. You mean the guy who said no? I didn't think to check. Obviously, I'm going to check. It's called drama by not checking for him first. Damn it. You think I'm just going to let him go? Spurn us? No. I'm going to be vengeful. Shout out to Richie Ricks. Great name. Unfortunately, there are no good relievers. Okay, cool. Top closer, Felix Batista, who is 32. Emmanuel Clace. Do we have any good closers? I doubt it. Any good closers? No. Cool. Top catcher, Adley Rutschman's out there. We won't be going for him, but he is out there. Any interesting players who might have snuck through? Eddie Diaz. Send you a deal. Anybody else? Certainly not someone who's going to be worth it at this point. I mean, there is Anthony Ono, who didn't sign with me. 47B. Well, if Ono's there, then presumably, unless it only does it... Shout out to Billy Gray. He's a 42. Jesus, we'll let him go. God. We'll see. First baseman, Andrew Vaughn, Bobby Dahlbeck are the top options. That is some slim pickings. Eloy Tapia, Barra. Do we have anybody else? It's not looking too good. Again, the fact you still can't sort by age or potential in this game is incredibly annoying. Ozzy Albies is out there as the top second baseman. He's now 31 years old. Gavin Spalding, but he's a D potential, and we haven't really had luck in D potential players turning it around. Yeah, it's not looking too good. Third base, Ryan McMahon. Nolan Arenado, the top options there. Did anybody sneak through? Anybody at all? Eric Turner. try to sign you. I mean, you're not that good, but hey, when 94% isn't enough for someone to sign with you, well, sometimes there's no way I should sign all these guys. When 94 frickin' percent's not enough. Shortstop, Bobby Witt Jr., Jeremy Pena. I mean, again, if we were a little bit more sure that we were on the right track, yeah, 100% sign Bobby Witt. I can't sacrifice that draft pick right now. Just can't do it. Just can't do it. And we have Marcelo Meyer in that position. Yeah. We'll look at left in a minute. Why not save it for last? Center field. Luis Robert was the top option. Free agency this time out. There's Ronan Benedict, excuse me. There's only one Benedict I know of, and he plays left field. And Seiya Suzuki is the top right fielder available. Rob Eckert. Not looking too good for prospects this year that snuck through. And honestly, I looked at relievers, and there really wasn't a good reliever. That kind of scares me. Given the fact that I drafted a reliever and I didn't even notice him. Here we go. How good is the boy that refused to sign with us? All of that stress for a B potential player. I'm signing him. Screw you. I'm never letting you go. You are going to spend your entire career in Boston. All of that stress for someone who wasn't even an A potential. I don't care if you're 46 years old, like that reliever I just signed. You are going to stay in Boston for the rest of your natural life. We're not letting you go. God damn it. All right, really quickly. In terms of the roster, if there's any D potential players that did not improve, we got to go ahead and cut them to make room. That's 2 seasons in a row of Mateo not getting better. So yeah, if you are a D potential or just outright trash like Cottrell, we'll let go of you. Just to make room. He turns down $5 million to make $200K. That he did. Like I said, there is a big part of me that's like, hey, if someone rejects coming here, don't sign them. Personally, I think that's what it should be, right? If they reject signing, I feel like they should go back in the draft next year. I do feel like that's a bit of a shortcoming of this mode right now. That said, I'm spiteful as shit, and I am going to sign him. I am spiteful as all hell, and I am going to sign him. Honestly, for guys like Caps, let's withdraw that offer. Raul Ramirez, I'm not worried about these guys. Honestly, Dave Griffin, if I can't get the other guys to improve it, at you will. So those are going to be the free agents we go after, including the 15-year deal for John Shriver. Goodness. We got to add Bill Patel to the 40-man. Add Bill to the 40-man. Denton McMahon. Okay, so this is the first year where I got to start adding a good amount of our drafted players to the 40-man roster. Let's add Jimmy Denton. Got McMahon at first base. This will lead to some interesting changes on the roster. Chavez at catcher. Harris at left. Let's see. Honestly, I'm not adding Grant Harris. If somebody takes him, so be it. Same for Conrad, Webb, Tupman, Tremaine. I'm not too worried about it. Arbitration. arbitration. Let's go ahead. Let's actually look at how many relievers I have. Presumably it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah, we do got to keep those 70s for now. So Mr. Santana, 1 year at 2.6. Brett Martin, 1 year at 940. We'll try to sign him first. 1.2 for this guy, Mr. Dakota Hudson. And even Colin, 780K. Nolan Jones at third, 3 years at 2.6. We'll see if he takes it. Marcelo, 3 years at 3.8. And then you get the big boy contract. Rafaela, we're going to go 3 years at 2.6. Don't know if you'll be long for this team. Jaron Duran, you are not worth that, but I should have money to burn. 2 years, 2.5. DeLauer, our new hope in right field. It's going to be 3.8 for 3 years. And Miguel Blay, 3 years at 2.7. We'll go back to them. Other offers. Guess we will just go with starters to kick it off. Shout out to Sam Bam for the follow. Welcome to whatever this is tonight. Franchise mode has been very cruel to me so far tonight. Is the only way that I can sum it up. Very, very cruel. All right, Michael Ellison. Renewable at $850. Antoine Hubbard, pay you a little bit more. Nick McFarland. Evan Huff. Floyd Tremaine. I mean, again, just got to sign all of our minor leaguers again for the year. Bart May has finally started to get a little bit better. He's still pretty bad. Pay Tutman. Mr. Webb, you're insane if you think I'm paying you a crazy amount. Got Lutz. And then these relievers can obviously go. Durbin Feltman. We got Oviedo, who I'm still optimistic in. And then our boy Doug Brown, top 5 prospect. Let's hope he's still there. Ronaldo, we want 800K for you. Mr. Chavez, we got to pay you a little bit. Eric Blank, Chris Valley, and Matthew Allman. Got to bring Johnny McMahon back. Bill Patel, Saccone was dropped. We got Navoa, Martin Webster, Dave Hamilton. I mean, 3 years at 800K is a pretty good deal. Bump up Sam Torrero's pay. Clinton Franks, 24 years old. He's only a 60. GG's. Not looking too good for him. David Chen, who we probably will try to have be our starting third baseman this year. Got to be honest, though. I mean, granted, that left fielder, sure, we ended up signing him. But you don't fucking know anything about baseball. Probably not. But hey, still more popular than you, listed as a TTV. Bam! Suck it, boy! Suck it! But don't worry, I'll be your first follower. There you go. GG's. Enjoy the grind. Honestly, that's exactly what I needed, was a troll to pop in here to cheer me up after this game broke my heart. Which again, I know that we brought the guy in. Who rejected us. I still, like I said, I feel kind of bad about it, but it is what it is. But we have had some kind of rotten draft luck in the past 2 years, man. We really have, if you think about it. Oh, I need a bunch of Blue Jays players who have never won anything? Huh. Hey, remember that era of Blue Jays players that couldn't get it done? Hey, remember how they had a bat flip in a divisional round? I know it's a bot, but damn it, I'm going to take a chance to dunk on the Blue Jays because I want to. Thank you. Shout the shekel. Getting a Corbin Burns. I hate it here. You should. You should. Blue Jays fans should hate baseball. All right, there we go. Contract offers out to everybody. We should be good. We have until the 23rd to offer arbitration. Let's see. Day one. Day one. Sandy Alcantara. 5-year deal, $26 million per. 97 overall. He's off to Minnesota. Garrett Whitlock accepted the qualifying offer. So did Sandlin. So no compensation picks for us. Nick Lodolo signs with the Mets. Hunter Green signs with the Giants. Duran signs with the Marlins. Adley Rutschman's on his way to the Chicago Cubs on a max contract. Damn. Blue Jays are better than these shitty little Red Sox. At this point, they probably are, yeah. Historically, LOL. Much like a Leafs fan, I'll have to talk about the past when it comes to success. Anyway, we have arbitration to worry about still. No, I would not like to stop simulating. Felix Bautista on his way. I'm not a Leafs fan. I wouldn't be either. I wouldn't be a fan of any Toronto sports team except for the Toronto Six. There you go. The Raptors, too. Maybe. Shout out to Tank Movie for the fall. Felix Bautista's on the move. Alex Vesia on his way to the Mariners for, honestly, I mean, it's Connor Scott and Luis Frias. They're both just kind of rando veterans. So, all right. So arbitration, Chase DeLauer is the only holdout. He is the only holdout. What do you have against TFC? I mean, it's the MLS, man. It's the MLS. What would a New England Revolution fan have against the MLS? Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's just been nothing but pain. Nothing but pain, so I try to pretend it doesn't exist anymore. All right, we got to up these offers a little bit. Got to up these offers just a little bit to get these guys to sign. Hopefully sooner rather than later. All right. Well, we're looking okay. In the grand scheme of things, I mean, the contract tender option is on the 2nd. I apparently have one player too many on the 40-man. We'll take Emmanuel Valdez off of the 40-man because I'm not too worried about him. Alexis Diaz on his... Man, Seattle's making moves. Dylan Coleman off to the Padres. Matt Manning to the Dodgers. It's another offseason of California teams making moves. Ryan McMahon signs with Tampa. Austin Hayes becomes the Cubs' second big signing of the offseason. So in terms of contracts, we still have Harris and Merrill Shavitz as holdouts. Fuck it, we'll just pay them even though they're not worth it. I just don't want to lose the depth. We have all the money in the world. Let's keep it going. If we lose them, so be it. If we lose them, so be it. Let's get to the Rule 5. Luis Roberts on his way to Arizona for the next 7 years. Manuel Clace on his way to Houston. Shane McClanahan, the big starting pitcher, goes to the Padres. So the Padres really continuing to make moves here. Joe Ryan goes to the Angels, and I need to remove a few other people from this list. Let's go David Hamilton, and we'll go with Colin as well. That way we have room to pick people up in the Rule 5. William Contreras on his way to the Mets. And we have the 7th frackin' pick. Oh, guy's a 56, though. Damn. All right. Is there anybody overly interesting? Conflicting night for St. Vegas lost, but the Sharks won. I mean, I think he cares more about the Sharks losing than Vegas winning. Lance Kruger, who is ours. He is available. We're probably going to have to retain Mr. Kruger. Willie Napier as well. These were guys on the available list that I didn't see because they were C potentials, not Bs. So there are a couple of dudes to protect, should we choose to. Although, to be honest, I'm not that worried about it. Floyd Tremaine's another one of them. Hopefully we don't lose anybody. In terms of prospects, I gotta be honest, the AI this year, they're looking a little bit better at protecting better prospects and taking advantage of team control. Shout out to Evan Skoog. Great name, but we don't need him. Yeah, it's not looking too good here. In terms of prospects, it's not looking too good. Raynel Delgado. Don't have space for you. And there's just nothing here. There is just nothing here. Gio Conrad, but he's already ours. Jarvis Finnegan, but he's only a 61. There's just nothing. I mean, Robbie Gaspar. I don't think we're taking anybody in this draft. I still have the UMaine jersey, indeed. Indeed. Oh! Ooh, I know how we can cap this off. Given that I'm going to forego on selecting anybody. Hopefully we didn't lose anybody, but if we did, again, I'm not too worried. Jesus Luzardo traded to the Guardians for Trevor Steffen and Christian Arroyo. I want to see the UMaine jersey. Give me a second. Matt Olson sent to Philadelphia for James Karinchak and prospect Ray Owens. So Philly's kind of going for it there. Tyler O'Neill on his way to the Angels for 2 years. Logan Gilbert to the Yankees for 6. Reed Detmers off to the White Sox. Bobby Witt Jr. lands in St. Louis. Turncoats. Turncoats. And that brings us to the start of spring training. There's another calendar year in the books. I do wonder, and we're not going to find out until tomorrow, I do wonder where our draft pick will be and if we'll have a compensation pick, even though we did end up signing Kevin Simmons. Kevin, you're the star of the night, buddy. But boy, I don't know if you were worth the trouble. But the team is looking better. We have options in the outfield now. Still have Marcelo Meyer at short. I mean, third base, again, I think we'll try to set up David Chen to be the starter if we can. Second base is still a little bit weak with Nick York, but we have Casas at first. Wells and Hernandez at catcher. We're looking good. I wouldn't be surprised if we were actually half decent this season. Fifth pitcher will be a little bit weak now that Chris Sale is gone. But honestly, it might be Bob Asensio or Jimmy Denton, who are both getting better. So we'll see. We'll see what the future brings for us here. But tonight was a weird night. We missed the playoffs. We did keep our 7th overall pick, but yeah, for our franchise portion of tonight, just weird.